Welcome. In the last session, we have seen objective questions from level 1. In this session, we will see questions from level 2. So from the level 2, question number 4, which of the following pairs is wrong? So we can see here, we have uricotelic. We know uricotelic, which means excretion in the form of uric acid. Uric acid. Then ureotelic, which means in the form of urea. So excretion of nitrogenous wastes in the form of urea, we call it ureotelic, and excretion of nitrogenous wastes in the form of uric acid, we call it uricotelic. Then coming to aminotelic, this will be excretion of nitrogenous wastes in the form of ammonia, right? And ureotelic, the same meaning as this. So here the birds will excrete the nitrogenous wastes in the form of uric acid. So this is a right pair. Coming to ureotelic, so here insects will release nitrogenous wastes in the form of uric acid, not in the form of urea. So for that reason, the insects and ureotelic is a wrong combination. And coming to the third option, aminotelic, tadpole. So tadpole lives in water and they release nitrogenous wastes in the form of ammonia only. So this is a right option. And coming to elephant is a mammal, and these mammals will eliminate nitrogenous wastes in the form of urea. So hence the elephant is a ureotelic animal. So this is also a right option. So out of all the four options, the wrong pair is the B option. So B is wrong, and that is the option that we have to select it as the answer. So the next question, the most abundant, harmful and universal waste product of metabolism. So coming here in this uric acid. So this uric acid uh, whose formula uric acid, so it is also formed as a waste product, and its a formula is C5H4N4O3. And this uric acid not formed in all organisms, so it is not formed in all organisms. So in humans it is formed in small quantities. Okay, then coming to this carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide is formed in almost all living organisms as a waste product. Now what happens if carbon dioxide concentration increases? Then it can lead to a condition called uh, respiratory acidosis. So here especially I'm talking in related to human beings. So here it can lead to respiratory acidosis. So when the carbon dioxide concentration increases, okay, so we can say that here the pH decreases. So that is it results in a condition called respiratory acidosis, and that actually can result in killing the organism, or can result in the death of organism. So the most abundant and harmful and universal waste product of metabolism. So it is not uric acid, because we don't see the formation of uric acid in all organisms. And coming to this water, water is of no harmful. So right, even though in most of the metabolic products you may see the formation of water, it is not at all harmful. Then coming to this carbon dioxide, so definitely you will see the formation of the carbon dioxide in almost all living organisms during one or other metabolic activities, and increase in the carbon dioxide concentration can reduce the pH, and it can cause the respiratory acidosis, which can result in the death of the organism. So the most abundant and harmful and universal means found in almost all the living organisms. So here the option B will be the right option, and it is the most abundant, harmful and universal waste product of metabolism. Next question, assertion and reason. So here the assertion is diabetes insipidus is marked by excessive urination and too much thirst of water. And coming to the reason, antidiuretic hormone, that is ADH, is secreted by the posterior lobe of pituitary gland. So now let's see here. The first assertion, diabetes insipidus is marked by excessive urination and too much thirst of water. So this is a right statement. And coming to the reason, antidiuretic hormone is secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Yes, this is also a right statement. So here, okay, the diabetes insipidus is actually caused when there is the deficiency of, okay, so if there is a deficiency of ADH hormone. So function of ADH, we know the ADH actually helps in absorbing, helps in reabsorbing water, helps in reabsorbing water, right? So the diabetes insipidus is marked by excessive urination. So as IDH does not produce here, there will be no reabsorption of water, and the person loses a lot of water in the form of urine. And as he loses lot of water, the thirst centers also get activated, so the person will be also thirst for the water. So this is a right statement, and antidiuretic hormone is secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary is also right statement. But here he did not give why okay, this diabetes insipidus is marked by excessive urination and too much thirst for the water, for which the reason is this. As he did not give, both statements are true, so here both A and R will be true, and R doesn't explain A, so the option B will be the right option in this case. The next question, human urine as compared to human blood is, okay, here we know human kidneys are capable of producing 4 times, okay, concentrated urine when compared with the initial filtrate, so right, the human urine is actually hypertonic. So here hypertonic, which means that has a higher concentration of solutes. So urine will have higher concentration of solutes when compared with the blood. So the urine is hypertonic as compared to human blood. So option B will be the right. The next question, the net pressure gradient that causes the fluid to filter out of the glomeruli into the capsule. So this we can take it as the net effective filtration, okay, pressure. So this is net effective filtration pressure. So here in this option, I would like to change this 20 mm of Hg to 10 mm Hg. So make a correction in the C option. So instead of 20 mm Hg, you make it 10 mm Hg. So the net effective filtration pressure, we know it is the glomerular hydrostatic pressure. The glomerular hydrostatic pressure minus the colloidal osmotic pressure. So we know already the colloidal osmotic pressure is developed in the blood of glomerular capillaries due to presence of plasma proteins and other solutes. So that is actually the colloidal osmotic pressure. Plus, okay, we need to consider the capsular hydrostatic pressure. Capsular hydrostatic pressure. The capsular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, so here this glomerular hydrostatic pressure is actually opposed by these two, that is colloidal osmotic pressure and capsular hydrostatic pressure. So if you see in the Bowman's, okay, capsule, so this is the colloidal osmotic pressure and capsular hydrostatic pressure. So this is the fluids present in the the capsular region will produce this capsular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, so this is a capsular region. Okay, and the glomerular hydrostatic pressure, okay, so that will be actually helping in the process of okay, moving in this direction, right? Now we know that glomerular hydrostatic pressure, it is around 60 mm Hg, okay, and then colloidal osmotic pressure is around 30 mm Hg, and the capsular hydrostatic pressure can be, okay, taken as 20 mm Hg. So here, so that will be 60, right, minus, okay, 30 plus 20, so that will give you, okay, a net effective filtration pressure of 20 mm, I'm sorry, 10 mm Hg. So the answer is 10 mm Hg. So that net pressure gradient or net effective filtration rate, you can also take it from 10 to, okay, 15 mm Hg. So here this colloidal and capsular may a little bit change, and that may give you a value between 10 to 15 mm Hg. So I request to change this option to 10 mm Hg, right? So the answer then, okay, the net pressure gradient that causes the fluid to filter out of the glomeruli into the capsule is okay, so this option. So I'm just striking off the 20 mm Hg and take instead the 10 mm Hg. Right, the next question, match the excretory functions of section 1 with parts of the excretory system in section 2 and choose combination among the following. Okay, so here we can see section 1 and section 2. So ultra filtration. So here ultra filtration, okay, will take place in which of these locations? So ultrafiltration takes place not in Henle's ureter, okay, so it takes place in the Malpighian body, okay, it takes place in the Malpighian body, okay. We know Malpighian body is a combination of glomerulus plus the Bowman's, okay, capsule. So these two together results in the formation of the Malpighian body. It is here inside this ultrafiltration takes place. So ultrafiltration in Malpighian, okay, body. Then concentration of urine. So the concentration of urine takes place in Henle's loop. So here this is A. Then transport of urine. So the transport of urine will be taking place, okay, through these ureters. So we know the kidneys, and from each of these kidney we get a ureter, and those ureters, okay, will transport the urine finally to the urinary bladder. So these one pair of ureters we see. So hence transport of urine is B, that is ureters. Then storage of urine. So once the ureters transport this urine into okay, the urinary bladder where the urine gets stored. So this is C. So D, A, B, C. So the first option, okay, shows the right combination. So hence the first answer is right. So the next question, which of the following is first formed, okay, nitrogenous waste of vertebrates? So we can see here this NH2 is a amino, okay, group. So this is a amino group, and the next option, urea, is the, okay, end product that is formed, okay, so during the ornithine cycle, and whatever that ammonia will be finally formed into this urea. And ammonium, so this is okay, ammonium, and this is formed by combination of ammonia plus AH plus that results in a ammonium ion. Okay, so here this is the ammonia, and okay, so the ammonia is the one, okay, formed right at first, okay, so this ammonia which is formed, so this is the first formed nitrogenous waste, which will later form either into ammonium, okay, or into urea. So here you can see the urea will be seen with the two, okay, amino groups. So this is how you see in case of urea, right? So the first formed nitrogenous waste of vertebrates is ammonia, which later gets converted, okay, to any of these, okay, urea or ammonium. So the next question, podocytes are the cells present in. So we know the podocytes are present, okay, attached to the glomerular capillaries. So inside the uh, glomerulus, so there are, okay, capillaries that is formed by the afferent arteriole. So you will see if this is the capillary, okay, glomerular capillary, then you will see that one will be, okay, so it will be seen like this. So it's the nucleus, and this one is the glomerular capillary. Is the glomerular capillary, and this is the podocyte. So this is the podocyte, and you can see in between, okay, these finger-like projections of its cytoplasm, you find small openings, and these are called the filtration slits. The called filtration slits. Okay, and these podocytes are nothing but the epithelial cells of Bowman's capsule. Okay, the epithelial cells of Bowman's capsule, and that is located, okay, in the Bowman's cap. So this is the inner lining, so we call it the visceral epithelium, is the visceral epithelium, and this one will be the parietal epithelium of Bowman's capsule. So here we know the afferent arteriole, okay, enters into this and comes out as an efferent arteriole, and here, so inside this it forms, okay, network of capillaries, okay, and here you will see the visceral epithelial cells, the podocytes wrapping around the glomerular capillaries. So it will be this. So this is the inner wall. It's the inner wall, whereas parietal epithelium is outer wall. Okay, so podocytes are the cells present in cortex of the nephron. No. Inner wall of the Bowman's capsule. Yes, inner wall of the Bowman's capsule, not outer wall, and the wall of uh, okay, glomerular capillaries. The wall of the capillary will contain endothelial cells. So because the capillaries, we know the capillary will be having inside, okay, the endothelial, I mean cells, I mean you can call it endothelium. So you can see in this case This is how you see. Okay, and outside you will find epithelium, the basement membrane. So you will find the basement membrane. So this is the capillary. Okay, uh, and this is the capillary wall that consists of endothelial cells. It consists of endothelial cells, and this will be the basement membrane here. So the basement membrane, so it is thin, that allows the movement of molecules across it. Okay, right. So the answer will be the inner wall of Bowman's capsule will be the right option in this case. Right, let's see the next question. So find out the correct labeling in this diagram. So already we know, when we see the longitudinal section of the kidney, so we find two regions. Okay, so this will be the cortex region, and inner one will be the medulla region, and here you will find uh, the medullary pyramids. So this will be the medullary pyramids. Okay, I'll draw. So you can see here the medullary pyramids, and the nephrons will be seen. Okay, some portions extending from the cortex into the medullary region. So these lines are actually the nephrons. Right, and the tip of this medullary pyramids will be opening into some narrow spaces, what we call them the minor calyces, and those minor calyces open into major calyces, and that will open into the renal pelvis. So this is the pelvis region, and these are the nephrons. So now let's see here, coming to this A. So here this pointing out, so these are all the nephrons. So A, they are nephrons, then B is the cortex region, and C is the medulla region, and D, so you can see it's a pelvis region. It's the pelvis region. Then E will be the ureter. Okay, so that is the D option, where A nephron, okay, B cortex, C medulla, D pelvis, E ureter. So in this diagram the correct option is D. So the next question, with respect to mode of excretion, which type of organism bony fishes are? So here they are not uricotelic, they don't produce uric acid nor urea. So these bony fishes will be directly releasing the nitrogenous wastes in the form of ammonia. So bony fishes, they release nitrogen wastes, okay, in the form of ammonia only. So hence those organisms who release the wastes in the form of ammonia are called aminotelic. So coming to here, osmoconformers, so are the organisms who have, okay, a similar osmolarity with the surrounding environment. Okay, say suppose, okay, the cell of the fish and the water. Okay, so here the number of solutes present in the water. Okay, so the number of solutes present in the water. So this is a cell of a fish. So, and here also there will be inside the number of solutes. So this number of solutes will be equal to the number of solutes in the water. So we say that it is isotonic. So such organisms who maintain similar osmolarity with the surrounding environment are all called osmoconformers. So you can take example for these osmoconformers also. Example like in case of sharks, in case of hag fishes, okay, skates, etc., are the organisms who show this phenomena of osmoconforming. So they are all called osmoconformers. So here the answer is aminotelic. So because bony fishes release the nitrogenous wastes in the form of ammonia only. The next question, deamination occurs in. So here the meaning of deamination, deamination is removal of amino group. So it is a removal of amino group. So that will be okay, NH2 from a molecule. Right. So this removal of amino group from a molecule is what we call deamination, and this deamination, okay, it occurs primarily in liver. Okay, but however it can also occur in kidney. So in kidneys also the deamination process takes place. So deamination, which is a removal of amino group from a molecule, so that one occurs primarily in liver, and it can also occur in so this amino group we get it from amino acids. So these amino acids, when they are broken down, so it releases this amino group, okay, and that amino group later may combine with hydrogen and results in the formation of ammonia. Right, so that's and the ammonia will later get finally converted to urea, and it will be excreted out, and that takes place in liver. So the deamination process will take place, okay, in liver and also in kidney. So here in the case the deamination occurs, okay, in both A and B will be the right option. So I think there is a key mistake in the material, so I request you to change the key to D. Right, so the next question, urge of urination begins when bladder contains. So here he is indirectly asking the urinary bladder, okay, capacity. So he's asking urinary bladder capacity, how much quantity of urine the urinary bladder can hold. Here I would like to make some changes. So instead of this 450 to 500 ml of urine, so this you make it 400 to 600 ml of urine, and this one you make it to 1000 ml of urine. Right, so normally in the adults the capacity of urinary bladder will be 400 to 600 ml of urine. So the option C will be the right. Okay, Here, this information is based on standard medical books from which the values which I have taken here. Okay, so with that, I have made some changes. So otherwise, the 450 to 500, 400 to 450 is not big different. So in the case of adults, it will be around 400 to 600 ml is the capacity of the urinary bladder, right, in the normal healthy individuals. So option same, will keep it C, in which you have to change from 450 to 500 ml urine to 400 to 600 ml of urine. So the next question: if 1 liter of water is introduced in human blood, then what happens? Okay, so first option is BMR decreases. So here the BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. It stands for basal metabolic rate, and the meaning of this basal metabolic rate is the rate of energy spent per unit time, the rate of energy spent per unit time and at rest. So when person is resting, so how much energy he spends is what we call the basal metabolic rate, and this BMR will depend on, okay, several factors like age we need to consider, then we need to consider the weight of the person, then we have to consider the sex of the person, height, and so in this case the BMR is no way related to the answer for this question. So 1 liter of water is introduced into human blood directly, not through the, okay, mouth. We introduced directly into the blood. So now the next option: RBC collapses and urine production increases. Yes, so here what happens, the water is hypotonic. So water is, okay, hypotonic means it has less solutes, okay, and more water. Now when you see in case of the RBC cell, so this is the RBC cell, inside this it will be hypertonic when you compare this, okay, RBC with the water. So it will have more, okay, solutes and less water. And we know if it is the case, okay, so here in the hypotonic the water potential will be more, and in this case the water potential will be less. So more potential and less water potential, and we know the water always move from higher water potential to lower water potential. So the water enters into the RBC, and this is what we call endosmosis takes place. Now here there is no cell wall, okay, so because of that the RBC increases, okay, in its size, okay, to certain extent, and after that the further entry of water will break this RBC membrane, that results in, okay, the RBC collapsing. So that's what, okay, it results in the collapsing of right RBCs, and that also results in, because of more water, okay, there will be urine production increases. So as I told, the BMR is nothing to do here, so the A and C options are not right, and the D option, RBC collapses and urine production decreases. No, the urine production increases. So the right option is the B option. The next question: the characteristics that is shared by urea, uric acid, and ammonia are. So the first one, they are nitrogenous wastes. Yes, here all these, the urea, uric acid and ammonia, are all nitrogenous wastes. Then they all need very large amount of water for excretion? No. So here, uh, out of these three, urea, uric acid and ammonia, we know that uric acid is the least toxic. Uric acid is least toxic, and this uric acid, okay, it requires, right, less water to eliminate it. And moreover, the formation of uric acid, so the formation of uric acid, so formation requires, okay, very high energy. So it requires very high energy, but for removing it, it requires only less water. So hence it's very good for conserving the water. So they all need very large amount of water? No, not at all. In the case out of these three, it is the ammonia, so requires lot of water. So ammonia requires lot of water to remove it. So that's why most of the aquatic organisms, for them the water is available in large quantities. They don't like it to convert into either urea or uric acid, so which requires energy for their formation, and this ammonia will be simply released out, okay, by using the water. So that's we see in most of the aquatic animals. So ammonia requires a lot of water to remove. So this statement, they all need very large amount of water for excretion? No. Uric acid requires least and ammonia requires the most of water. Then they are equally toxic? No, this statement is also wrong. Already I have given you the order of toxicity. So the order of toxicity, where you see this ammonia is, okay, highly toxic when compared with urea, and urea is toxic when compared with uric acid. So this ammonia is highly toxic, whereas the uric acid is the least toxic. So all the three are not equally toxic. Then they are produced in the kidneys? No. So these are, okay, produced in, okay, either liver, okay, so especially the urea and uric acids, and ammonia during the metabolism of amino acids inside the cells. So hence this statement is also wrong. So the only statement, they are all nitrogenous wastes. So only option D will be the right option. So with this, I will end up here. We will see a few more questions from the level 2, and the next level 3 questions also we will see in the next session.